G'day everyone. Well, today I thought I'd do a video on a special birthday card that I'm going to make for our eldest son, who's turning 21 in a couple of weeks. But before I do, I just wanted to have a quick chat about my thought process and how do I get inspiration. Because I don't know about you, but with myself sometimes I really overthink a lot of things, and I think a lot of us do. So what I normally do when I'm doing a special card, I actually think, okay then, male or female. If it's a male in this case, it eliminates all the pretty pinks, purples, and that sort of stuff. It also eliminates flowers as well. So like my nearly 21-year-old is a real boy. So I'm trying to steer away from the feminine side. Not saying that flowers aren't okay for guys, they are okay for guys. But in this case, I've eliminated flowers. I'm using embossing folders today as well. So I've got these two embossing folders. So I've got a wood grain here that I'm going to use. And I've also got this happy birthday dies embossing folder that I'm going to put on the front there as well. Okay, so I do go through my embossing folders as well and go, right, okay then, what sort of embossing folders will I need? Obviously I've eliminated all my floral ones, my Christmas ones, my things like that. Like I could do a vintage one, I've got a vintage clock one and all that, but today I'm going to use these two, so I've pulled those two out. I'm going to use my distress ink, okay, and I might grab another couple of colours there like vintage photo and walnut stain, but I've just grabbed frayed burlap and antique linen just for the time being. I actually have also got a Elizabeth Craft die. This is the Karen Burniston one, Lucy label pop-up. Now I know Karen Burniston's gone out on her own. I'm not sure if she is doing this die or not, but I haven't used this die before. I got it offline. I think I've got nearly all of Karen Burniston's old dies, so I have used quite a few of them. So this is for the inside of the card, and I'm drawing inspiration from this because Karen's used a cake on here, and I've got a cake die as well, so I thought I might incorporate that. For the front of the card, I've got these stitched label dies here that I'm going to use. I've also got, and I've just pulled out a whole heap of dies. These are the, I think these are Craft dies, so I've just pulled out the scalloped circles, the stitched circles, the plain circles and the stars. So I thought maybe I could use those. Now, and I just go through and randomly just pick, you know, would I use it? Could I use it? Incorporate into my card. So I pick out things. I may not use them all, but that's okay. But they're on my table when I'm doing a card. The other thing that I found is this button here. Now, I'm going to put that on the front of the card, only because of the colour, and it's a clock sort of a thing, so I am going to incorporate some of that. And I've got some frayed burlap, that I got from the Craft store. I think it was the Ipswich one when I was there a few weeks ago. So I don't know if I'm going to use a strand or a piece. I'm not sure, but I've got it out anyway, so it's just at my fingertips. So when I make a card, I just pull things out that I think I may incorporate into the card. It doesn't mean that I'm going to use it, but if it's on my desk when I'm creating a card, my thought process is if it's there and I see it and I can vision what the card's going to look like with either that stamp or that embossing folder or even that die that I use. I just run with it. Okay, so that's how I that's my thought process when I'm creating a card. Now I'm also going to use some cream cardstock, and it's going to be a top folding card with this, and I've also got some brown cardstock as well. Now the brand that I use is Portercraft. I'm fairly happy with this, so use whatever cardstock that you've got that you're happy with. So it doesn't have to be expensive, as long as you're happy with the card that you're making. So this is a process video, so there won't be any talking. I'll do a speed up as well, so you can see what the process is, what I go through and so forth, and I'll just put some music in. So I do hope you enjoy it. If you do, please give me the thumbs up. I'd love to hear your comments, how you make cards and where you draw your inspiration from when you're making cards. So it's really interesting to see what everyone's thought process is. If you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button down below here. Don't forget that to hit the notification bell. And until next time, happy crafting. See ya! But I have done something really silly. I normally measure twice, cut once, but I didn't when I was doing all my cutting. So this is the original piece of cardstock that I was going to use as an upfolding card, but it's too short. So I really kicked myself. So I've discarded that. And I've cut myself another piece. Now this is, the length of this is 31.5 centimetres. So I've had to go and get some bigger cardstock, because with this one I didn't cut down the bottom and the top that I normally do. I just cut the sides down. So I just had one of those blonde moments, but anyway, so I'm fixing it up, and how I'm fixing it up is I've cut a piece of cardstock, I've got it the right size, but it's white. Okay, so I'm quickly going to get some antique linen, and I'm just going to go around the edges with this. Now I'm just going to mask this off up the top here as well, because I don't want it going on the back. So it doesn't matter if the back is white, so I'm not too bothered about that. So just going to do that, and then we're going to start on the middle piece. So I just wanted to just let you know my little mistake, and how I'm actually going to fix it. Okay, so let's fast forward this, because I know you don't want to watch me doing this little bit.